All right, so this is like the alpha stage of the podcast, and my name's Chris.
This is David.
All right, so I guess mainly we're just gonna discuss about video games, comics, nostalgia,
anything geek related.
anything geek related. I don't really like to call myself a nerd
How the hell do I turn on the air conditioning?
because nerds are kind of smart, and I'm not that smart, but more of a geek. But we geek out a lot. But so I guess we were discussing about Capcom. It's pretty much like a love and hate relationship between them. But for me, I love them, even though they effed me over so many times with stupid kind of DLC stuff they have pulled off. But
well, if you don't buy the games in the first place, you don't have to worry about it.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess we were discussing earlier about Street Fighter 3 that everybody forgets that's actually
It's the best Street Fighter.
it's the best Street Fighter. Yeah, sure. Some characters were broken, but for somewhat it was kind of balanced out, I guess, with the parry system.
By the third game, they balanced it out.
Yeah, because the first one, it was Street Fighter Second Impact.
No. Well, Street Fighter the new generation, Street Fighter 3 new generation. I remember playing that in arcade, and I don't know, it felt a little off to me. It didn't feel like Street Fighter, just because the parrying system was really new. You gotta press forward instead of backward or something. To me, that was totally radical. I didn't get it at all, and
I think the only people who, I felt like the only one who had the backwards parry was when I started playing
backwards parry. That was Mark of the Wolves, I think.
Mark of the Wolves. For me it was Capcom versus SNK 2 with the. What was it?
Just Defend.
Yeah, Just Defend. I mean, it was pretty good with that. But I mean, parrying is a little hard. You have to get used to it. But get some muscle memory and then you get it down. But
to get it down, I'm still trying to pull off that Chun-Li.
Oh yeah.
Thing
But
I could get in. I could get 3 hits in, and after that, she just kicks my ass. So.
You just gotta kind of like. I think what I usually do is kind of go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kind of like build like a pattern of it, and I get it down. But once you get used to it, and it just becomes like muscle memory.
Man, normally, honestly, for the longest time, I did not play Street Fighter. I played Street Fighter 3 because my brother had it on Dreamcast, and it was available. Pretty much, and so that we got that, and the only thing that interested me out of Street Fighter 3, believe it or not, was Ibuki. I love ninjas, and if there's a ninja in a game, I'll give an extra effort to play as one. But that would be the only reason in the end, but gradually I got into the game a little more, mostly because friends at work were getting into it, and to socialize, you gotta play the same stuff they're playing.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're talking about when you play the game, or combos and stuff like that. But
I don't know. In the end, we had to switch games. I don't know. This might sound conceited to me, but I eventually got pretty good to the point where I was kicking their asses, and they just stopped playing the game. They just stopped playing the game because I eventually learned how to parry.
Yeah, I was like that with Third Strike, same way, kind of beating on all your friends. But
Chris, how did you discover
Street Fighter or Third Strike?
Oh, Third Strike.
Third Strike was pretty much my cousin. My cousin got me into pretty much like I wouldn't say video games per se, but he got me into fighting games, and pretty much it all started with we all played Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo. But and I remember him buying pretty much when the PlayStation came out. He actually had the PlayStation. Wait, did Street Fighter 3 come out on the Dreamcast? No, not Dreamcast. I'm sorry, Saturn. No, it wasn't Saturn.
No.
So it came out on. I know first it was arcades, and then the Dreamcast, and then it whittled over onto the PS2, which was an arcade. It wasn't a full arcade version. I think the best version of Street Fighter 3 is the Dreamcast version. But the first time I played it was at the arcade at a mom and pop liquor store, and then that's where I played, and then I got hooked on that game.
You're talking about Street Fighter, then, right?
Yeah, Street Fighter. Like it was Street Fighter. Well, Second Impact they had, and then I remember, then they eventually got Street Fighter Third Strike at the liquor store, and not only that, right there next to it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So
Now you guys listening saying that the arcade scene is dead.
it's,
Well, actual places that have a lot of arcades, they are. But there are places. Well, I don't know if this is true for the rest of the country, but there are places like laundromats,
yeah,
and
liquor
and
stores.
liquor stores that still
Yeah,
have arcades.
we just got out of. By the way, David's driving right now. I don't know if you hear the cars on the background, but we just got out of Game Dude, which is like that place has been there since since I was a little kid, and I'm 28 right now, so that can tell you how long it's been there. But they have right there. They have like classic titles that I love. They have Third Strike there. They have Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and they have
A Neo Geo machine.
a Neo Geo machine with
NVS.
yes. They have SNK games right there. So they have they have your King of Fighters there. So your Bobble, what is it?
Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble there.
Or Bust a Move.
Bust a Move, whatever you want to call it. Actually, there's a game called Bust a Move in Japan, but it's a dancing game. It's way before Dance Dance Revolution, all those dancing games, and that's when dancing games were good.
You know what? I think I have the soundtrack to that somewhere on my
Bust a
computer.
Move?
Yeah.
It was a fun game. It was kind of like, kind of remind me of like Parappa the Rapper in a way, but just kind of dancing.
Yeah, you got break dancers and ballet dancers.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool game. I liked it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
What was it called? Those were Bust a Groove, right?
Bust a Move or Bust a Groove, either one of
It
those.
was called Bust a Groove because Bust a Move was owned by Title or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it, but I'm gonna see on YouTube if I can actually find anybody who actually has any kind of videos on that game. I'm pretty sure I can find something on YouTube. But yeah, in general, that's how we got into video games, I guess, or just Street Fighter games.
When you mention Bust a Groove, we should probably look online and kind of edit in one of the actual songs or something about it.
Yeah, the soundtrack was good. Like another video game soundtrack that I love was Initial D. Was it Initial D Second Stage?
I think so.
Yeah, the one at the arcade.
Is that the one that started using music from anime?
Yeah, and then they had the whole card system. Yeah.
I think I have mine. Mine was a Skyline.
Skyline I never used the Terreno. Never used the AE68 Terreno. The AE68 Terreno.
No, AE86.
The AE86. I'm sorry.
Or in the anime, they just called it the 86.
Yeah, a lot of Initial D guys are gonna get mad, but yeah, the Terreno. There we go. This is Chris.
This is David.
Probably the second podcast that we got going. Again, recorded in the car, going to the comic store. But we're talking about Killer Instinct. And I was talking to David about that. I'm kind of not. I mean, I'm pretty excited about the game. It is Killer Instinct. It's like nostalgia for me. But the thing that worries me is that the company Double Helix, that's their first fighting game that they made. And it takes time to perfect a good fighting game. Capcom didn't make a fighting game, like a great fighting game right away. It took them time, like with Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 3, and Street Fighter 4 still had its problems.
Well, to be fair, they are being supervised by Rare, from what I understand. Although if that's true or not, I don't know. But from what I know, Microsoft has been going after that Killer Instinct license for maybe two to 3 years.
You know what? I think they wanted that since the Xbox, the original Xbox. I think they wanted a Killer Instinct game.
No, because I know Rare was working on a Killer Instinct around the same time that were acquired by Microsoft. And then no news came from it. I'm guessing that Microsoft told them just stop, no more fighting games or whatever. And well, I guess it was probably due to the fact that Tal Fang was a complete utter garbage. I don't know if you remember that game.
What's that?
Tal Fang.
It was a fighting game?
It was a fighting game exclusive to the Xbox. It was made by one of the Mortal Kombat guys, but it was like so bad.
Well, this one looks good. Like it looks like Street Fighter 4, like the visuals, the art, but I'm sure it runs with 60 frames per second.
I know there were actual fighting game people at that club or wherever that had that play test.
Yeah, it was a bar near by the convention center.
Yeah. People said those fighting game guys, they they said that it's tight, it's solid. I'm guessing that they've been working on it for a long time, and just taking bits and pieces from other fighting games.
Yeah, I think they got some some feedback from other games. Like I bet they put some elements from like Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4. But it looks cool. But here's the thing I'm worried about. It's like I hope a lot of the characters are not broken and they balance it out really good, and then the game is just not as good because it's balanced out. But
well, to be fair, was the first Killer Instinct even balanced at all?
No, it was clunky.
It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah,
but you're right. It was clunky.
But if the company wants more money, I suggest to put it out on multi-platform. But
nah, it's owned by Microsoft. They're not going to do that. At best, it might release an arcade.
Yeah, at least I could get a play like that. But if Microsoft does own them, because it's through a contract, and after the contract is up, if they want to go elsewhere, they can just make Killer Instinct 2, and that'll be like on multi-platform. But it'd be a good idea, because not everything lasts on Xbox for the longest. I mean, the Halo will.
There might be a PC release.
Might be, hoping there's a PS4 release, and I will get it. But you know what? I heard there's gonna be a Marvel vs. Capcom 4. There's a leaked list that there's a Darkstalkers game exclusively coming out for the Wii U. There's a Dragon Dogma game coming out for the PS4, and then there's Dead Rising 3, which is coming out on Xbox 360, and it says Marvel vs. Capcom 4, all platforms. So please give us that. Please give us Capcom vs. SNK 3. Give us another Darkstalkers game. We'll be happy. Street Fighter 5 set.
Street Fighter 5.
How would it look? It would look.
I guess more cartoony.
More cartoony. Probably. Because I think the best fighting game, like controls wise, is Street Fighter. Third Strike and Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 is smooth. It feels good. I mean, there's a couple moves that I wish it was in Street Fighter 4, like Ryu's heel kick. I wish that was in there. That's only in Street Fighter 3 and Cross Tekken. That's another good game, but really underrated. Cross Tekken. And but Street Fighter, give us another kind of Street Fighter 3 style fighting game, which would be awesome. With a parry system.
You know what? I think they purposely didn't put in a parry system in Part 4 just because the level of expertise required was so high that it would like detract potential casual players, I guess.
Capcom needs to hype it up. Yeah, they need to make like a really crazy commercial or trailer, maybe at the next E3, about like the next Street Fighter game, but just make it crazy, like over the top with a parrying system, and just hype it up like super nuts, because I think they have the best people to make fighting games, which is Capcom, and then they need to take advantage of that.
You said Capcom has the best people to make fighting games, which is Capcom.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, they do. They have the best fighting games.
Well, who's in charge? That Ono guy, right?
Yeah. Capcom has the best fighting games. Yeah, they do. I think they do. I don't know.
Some would say Virtua Fighter 5 is the best one.
That's a really good fighting game, Virtua Fighter 5. They should make more of those. Another King of Fighters would be cool too.
That's SNK right there.
Well, yeah, SNK did that really cool. Another SNK fighting.
They're not as big as they used to be, but
yeah. Cool. So we'll leave this podcast. It's not fully complete, so we'll edit it out and.
You know what? We'll probably have to re-record this.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.